In three, two, one. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds and New Bully. I'm your host Leroy with my co-host.
This is Eli.
Yep, and we're back with another episode, and it is a lot of shit that happened this week. I was prepared to talk about one thing, ignore this other thing, but this other thing outshined the other thing that I like. So we're going to talk about that thing as well as the other thing, and then we're going to go from there. But before we get there, Eli, how many days are we from Christmas? In three, two,
10?
I guess. I don't know. You may or may not be right. I don't know. I
9. I just
guess.
did the math.
I guess.
December 15th, 16th, and it's the 25th. Yeah.
I suck at math. That's why I podcast. I don't know. Main reason I was asking that because, of course, the closer we're getting closer to Christmas, apparently the crazier the world is getting. There's been a big controversy on every single Christmas thing that is out right now. They're saying that Charlie Brown is racist. Didn't they say Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is racist also?
Or he's not racist, but like everybody else is. Everybody else treats him bad. They treat Rudolph bad.
Isn't that the point of the story?
That is the point of the fucking story. That he overcomes all the bullshit of the world and becomes a badass motherfucker.
Exactly. The best reindeer out of all of them, even though they weren't
Yeah.
really racist. Whatever. Okay, so Charlie Brown's racist. Everybody's racist except Rudolph. Baby's Cold Outside is apparently like the Bill Cosby theme song or some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Apparently they're trying to get that song banned too. And the craziest thing is Santa Claus.
I haven't heard this one.
Okay, this is new. Apparently they did a poll about what should Santa Claus look like nowadays, and of course millennials voted on what Santa Claus should look like because they vote on everything because it was an internet poll. So of course you know what's going to happen, and they said Santa Claus should be rebranded. He should no longer be jolly old fat Saint Nick, old white guy with a beard. They say he should be rebranded as maybe a woman, skinny, or even
Hot.
hot
Something hot.
or gender neutral.
Oh, fuck that.
So that's what we say that
Does this mean he has no junk? He's like a mannequin?
or maybe he has junk but he tucks it in. I don't know. Whatever goes on right now. So yeah, that's the way they want Santa Claus to be right now. And I started thinking about it. Okay, a lot of people are getting upset about Santa Claus, right? Because they say Santa Claus like this, Santa Claus like that. Okay, I'm black. I went to a predominantly black school wherever I went to, and the thing is, whenever Santa Claus came through our school, Santa Claus came to the neighborhood, Santa Claus was black.
There you go.
Yeah. So I mean, so Santa Claus can be whatever you want him to be. Him, her, it, them, whatever. I'll tell you something else. My mom dressed up as Santa Claus.
There you go.
Yeah. Beard, the whole thing. You never know. So, and it's plenty of skinny people that, put on fat suits and walk around as Santa Claus anyway. So at the same time, Santa Claus is basically cosplay.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there was a black Santa Claus at the Mall of America here in Minneapolis, and that fucking everyone, assholes freaked out about. But you looked at him, I was like, damn, he looks convincing. He looks like a Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like the school I went to, you never expect to see a white Santa because most of the time the Santa Claus was usually like a teacher that dressed up in there. The teachers were black anyway, so of course Santa Claus is going to be black. So we just kind of expected to see that. So I don't know why people are getting up. I don't know why people are getting upset anyway. Santa Claus is not real.
Yeah, no shit.
Shit. Which is another thing I meant to ask you, Eli. Okay, like I said, as a parent and to all the parents out there, how do you feel about telling your kids about Santa Claus now in 2018?
Well, my kids already know that he ain't real, so.
Right,
Doesn't-
but did you tell them that at first, or was it like later on, or did you let them believe Santa Claus is real, or?
For a while until like my kid like pretty much outsmarted us. What the hell happened? He basically got us to admit that he wasn't real by tricking us.
Oh, he was on you. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I feel a type of way about even fooling kids into thinking Santa Claus is real. Like just let them know from the beginning. Even if you're exposed to Santa Claus, just let them know from the go. He's not real. He's fictional. He's imaginary. Santa Claus is pretty much made up as a mascot for the Coca-Cola brand. We know what this is.
And that's pretty much what defined his look.
Right.
Because yeah, jolly old Saint Nick is that's from like the Scandinavia or whatever.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know,
old as hell. And bring presents to kids, stuff like that. Have you ever read Grant Morrison's rebooted run of Santa Claus?
no, probably not.
It is
No.
the most awesome shit ever. He made Santa Claus like fucking Thor or some shit.
Is that like what was that movie, Rise of the Guardians, where Santa was kind of like that? He's like a Viking warrior Thor dude.
I didn't see it. All I know is that I read like a synopsis of Grant Morrison's run. It was like the most epic shit ever. I was like, I gotta get my hands on the Santa Claus book. Also, if you want to read a good Santa Claus book, Santa Claus exists in the Marvel Universe. And he is a mutant. And he is Omega level mutant. Yes, he whooped
Of
the
course he
X-Men's ass because he's Santa Claus. Fuck Franklin Richards. It's Santa Claus. So he is an Omega level mutant, say that 5 times 5, fast, that whooped the X-Men's ass, and he also fought the Hulk. I had that book. I don't remember who won. I know he had a crowbar. Why he had a crowbar against the Hulk? Why was he holding him against the Hulk? Who knows? Santa Claus is fucking badass in Marvel Universe. That's all I know. I want a crossover with Thanos versus Santa Claus. Somebody do that and get that done. We talk about the Black Widow shit. Just move on to other shit. We got a whole bunch of shit.
It's up to you, man. I don't even know.
Yeah. Black Widow was real. She got caught. She tried to get close to Donald Trump because the Russians sent her over here. She's in jail. She's probably gonna censor everybody. Move on to the next subject. Look it up on CNN. We don't have time for this shit. We got a bunch of other shit. That being said, let's move on to the box office numbers. Eli, give it to me. What is the #1 movie of the week?
Spider-Man.
Does whatever a spider pig can. #1 movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And this is not a Disney movie, a MCU related movie, a tie-in or nothing. This is just Sony. All on Sony. And they pulled it off. What the fuck? Nobody holding their hand, no mouse.
By hiring the guys who got fired off the Han Solo movie.
That is true. So I guess it all worked out in the end. We're gonna go down the list. We're gonna come back to Spider-Verse, but we're gonna go back down the list. Okay, so #2 we have The Mule. Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood's back.
Yeah. And I think they said this is the highest grossing debut of a man his age or in his 70s or something. I mean, being led by an actor his age or something. So he won't stop. Clint Eastwood just won't stop. #3, we have Dr. Seuss The Grinch. We have #4, Ralph Breaks the Internet. We have #5, Mortal Engines, which debuted at 7 million over the weekend.
I had no interest in that movie.
The date I went to take Spider-Man made it like a quick hint about she wanted to go see Mortal Engines. I just kind of ignored her and just like, time to go. Sorry.
Yeah, like Cities on Wheels or some shit. I like whatever.
It's one of those. That's the thing about those type of movies like Hunger Games and Maze Runner's Maze or Maze Run or some shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of peaked. It's a dead genre now. It was a fad for a little while, but it's a dead genre. No one.
Oh, is that what it is? Is it like a young adult novel?
Exactly.
Or whatever?
It's one of those things.
Oh, yeah.
So no one cares anymore. That's dried up. It's done. Twilight, all that stuff like that. Move on. I think all those girls have been in that shit. They've all grown up now, or at least have matured past that, where they're into some other shit now. So they're in the Jason Momoa now. So they don't give a fuck about Twilight.
Kids are no, they're not. I was gonna say kids are reading comics, just like Bill Maher said. They're getting stupid and not reading regular books. No, kids aren't reading comics.
They're not.
Nobody buys comics.
Right. So you can't blame us for getting stupider. They're getting stupider for some other reason. So, #6, Creed 2 still hanging in there. They said they're making a Creed 3. And I guess, you ever heard of Dante Wilder?
No.
Okay, me neither. But apparently, Sylvester Stallone is looking at him to be Clubber Lang Jr.
Oh, really?
So that's what Michael B. Jordan gonna do? Just fight all of Rocky's bad guys' kids? I'm like, is that? Who wants to see this shit, man? I don't know. #7, Bohemian Rhapsody, which I'm hearing is the highest grossing biopic of all time. I may have pulled them numbers out my ass. Who knows? But sounds good. Number 8, we have Instant Family. Number 9, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Whatever. And number 10, Green Book. Okay. Oh, and number 11, Once Upon a Deadpool.
That's right. That's out.
That is out. Now, let me get triggered real quick before we get moving on. Not you. Fuck. I hate this Chromebook. Chromebooks suck. This is not a commercial for Chromebooks. Here we go. Now, trigger warning. I've been doing this for a week just to get my blood pressure up. And, okay, not too bad. Venom. What I was going to talk about, I wanted to see where Venom's number was at the time. And right now it is at 852 million. So it feels like it's starting to slow down at only 850 million. So it's only 150 million away from $1 billion. So good job. Good job, Venom. I think it's already out on not Blu-ray, not DVD, but digital.
Venom? It's coming out. Yeah, it's coming. It's on digital. It's coming out on DVD Tuesday.
Yeah. So eventually it slowed down. So this is insane for Venom to do this much money. So now the pressure is on for Aquaman next week to match Venom. That's the fucking world we live in now. But let's be honest with you. We said this 10 years ago. A Venom movie and an Aquaman movie, most people would think of the Aquaman movie be close to a Venom movie. Even without Spider-Man, even without anybody. It's Aquaman. No.
Yeah.
He's lame. But things have changed now where the Aquaman is all big and beefy now, you know. So now he's supposed to be the savior of the DC universe. Aquaman is a savior. So that either means Aquaman has really rose to stardom, or that just shows you what shit state the DC universe is in right now.
Oh, well, Jeff Johns made him awesome. Like, I didn't give a shit about him until I read till the New 52.
Well, I mean, some people say Peter David made him awesome first.
I haven't read that shit, but
you can see a lot of Jason Momoa in that Peter David run. So it's mainly off Jeff Johns, but there's definitely some Peter David in there also. So yeah. So like I said, we said all that. Let's go back to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Here's the thing, Eli. Before we get in, because you saw it, I saw it. Before we get into that, there's one thing I did want to take a note of that actually alarmed me, and that is the box office gross over the weekend. And the box office gross over the weekend was $35 million. Now, Eli, we've been doing this for a while. $35 million is not shit.
Yeah, that's a little low.
That's a little low. But, I mean, I'm looking at the production budget. The production budget is $90 million. So it's not like a $200, $300 million movie. So it was cheaper to make than any normal superhero movie that would have been made now. So even if it does like 500 million, which I see no reason why it shouldn't, it should do okay.
Yeah.
You know. But you think a movie, I mean, it's Spider-Man. It's made for all ages. It's Christmas. You think this movie would have been a barn burner. You think this movie would have just blew the doors off. You think it would have outgrossed Venom its opening weekend. But it can't do it. Once again, Venom beats the shit out of Spider-Man. So, Eli, I'm going to let you go first. Just give it to me. What you think about the movie? Give me a rating. Let me have it.
I thought it was dope. Surprisingly, I loved it. Holy shit. I thought it kind of reminded me of the Lego Batman movie in a way.
Which they also made.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Where it just sort of deconstructed the whole Spider-Man mythology and just made all these different references to movies, to comics, to, you know, to the other universes, to the multiverses, the other versions of Spider-Man, and made it all work. I mean, I'll admit it. I never read every incarnation of Spider-Man. I never read Spider-Man 2099 or 21, whatever the fuck. Or
2099 was actually pretty awesome, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I never read that shit. I never gave a shit about Spider-Gwen or, you know. But yeah, the different versions of Peter Parker I thought worked really well, and it introduced Miles Morales, which I thought was great, and just he works totally well nowadays. I thought it looked amazing. Wouldn't mind checking it out in 3D because I thought it was so visually stunning.
Yeah, and I saw it in 2D also. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies that uses comic book art and incorporates it into filmmaking, taking aesthetics of comic books and making them cinematic, with the panels, the use of text, the voiceovers. It was a living, breathing comic book, which you don't get to see that. And I've said this before, all the MCU does is just interpret, they just adapt the source material.
Right.
Most of those Marvel movies aren't very cinematically, you know, big. They just there's a few of them that are visually stunning, like the Guardians movies and Doctor Strange and what have you. But most of them are just just adapting the source material, just throwing the movie, just making a movie out of that story.
Right.
Whereas this movie incorporated comic book art into the movie, into the filmmaking, which I thought was awesome. So yeah, I loved it. 4.5 out of 5. Shit. So
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just give my quick thoughts on it. Like I said, this actually was a movie I was not excited for at all. Like honestly, didn't even think about seeing it. If you didn't see it, Eli, I would have passed it by. Wouldn't even watch it. But going in and seeing it, and I didn't care about the reviews, didn't care about any of that shit, didn't care. But going to the movie and seeing it, I loved it. I loved it. I loved every single scene of this movie. It was just like you were saying, it's the most comic booky movie we've ever seen. Just because it feels like it was a comic book come to life. It was another weird thing about it also, like when I was watching the trailers, you watch trailers, it always felt like the frame rate was off on the trailers on the movie.
Yeah.
It did. And when I watched the movie at the beginning of it, like the very beginning, it felt like the frame rate was choppy also. But either two things happened. Either the frame rate got smoother or did I get used to it? Because I didn't notice it again after like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was like, should I have seen this on digital or some shit? I was wondering about that too.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if that was intentional because you started seeing like the print dots and those lines and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, that looks like either it's pixelated, unrendered video, or are they using are those comic book print dots? From old newsprints, the dots from the old newsprint comics.
Right. And I'm thinking it very was intentional. I'm thinking it
was. Which
because
makes
honestly, I was immersed to it. Sometimes I kind of, I don't know, it's like it tricked my brain. Like sometimes I forgot I was watching a cartoon. I don't know, maybe it was me.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I know it was cartoon, it had a style to it, but I mean, they were emoting, had so much emotion, they were so expressive. It didn't feel like Incredibles to me, where I know every single moment I'm watching it is a cartoon. I'm watching, mimics of cartoon, but this one I was like fully invested into these characters. And it wasn't just the characters, just just the action of it, the art style of it, the soundtrack of it.
Oh yeah, the music was awesome.
The music was awesome. I was listening when you called me. That's what I was doing, listening to the Spider-Man soundtrack. That's why I know you like, what the fuck was he listening to? I've never been to New York before, but the movie made me feel like I was in New York. Mm-hmm. Like it made New York feel like a character. I thought that was pretty awesome. So many Easter eggs, just all throughout the movie. So many Easter eggs, and the movie doesn't stop. The Easter eggs don't get in the way. It's just like they're like in the background. You seem like the Spider-Man PS4 costumes in the movie. Super quick. You either pay attention and you move on, and that's it. One thing that made me nervous about it was two things that made me nervous about this movie. First off, because remember the first trailer sold it as a Miles Morales movie.
Yeah.
But then the next trailer sold it as, we throwing in like 1 million Spider people in this movie. I'm like, oh man, I just want a Miles movie. I don't care about these other people. But actually going to the movie and seeing the movie, it was a Miles Morales movie. Yeah. And it actually makes sense why those other Spider people were in the movie. Because really, at the end of the day, they were just there to put their stamp of approval on Miles.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they was like, hey, he's cool. He's okay. We like him. If he's okay with the original Spider-Man, then you shouldn't have a problem with him. The viewer, you should be able to listen to like him also. Just his personality. Like I said, I haven't read a whole bunch of Miles Morales stuff like that, but just his personality, the way they had him in here, he's different from Peter Parker. They feel like two completely different characters. That's what I like about it. And plus, let's talk about Peter Parker. Peter Parker had his own arc.
Yeah.
And that's what's so awesome about it, because they showed the Spider-Man in this universe. This Spider-Man in this universe was perfect. Had his shit together, had money, Mary Jane. You know, he was ready. Even the little sex he had with Miles, he was mentoring him.
He was like the myth, the legend that us in the real world imagine Spider-Man to be. We adore Spider-Man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what that version was our interpretation of who Spider-Man is. All the merch. It's like an amalgam of everything we know about Spider-Man. That's what was
all
that
the good
one.
stuff, none of the bad stuff.
Yeah, the toys, the merch, the comics. I was a comic book. I made a Christmas album.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no possible way he can do that. Anyone can do that in real life, but we, over, the past 50, 60 years, that's what he has become to us.
Right.
And that's what's funny. And again, that's that tongue-in-cheek shit that the Deadpool movie did. Like almost breaking the fourth wall.
Which this movie did a couple times too, but
yeah.
it was like very slightly, yeah.
Yeah, and being making fun of itself, being self-aware, and just making those references that we would get. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which I thought was brilliant. I was digging on it.
And so that's what I liked about it. But then, and this is, and we're gonna go into slight spoilers. Like I said, we've seen the movie, so we're gonna go into slight spoilers. I didn't know what they were going to do with this Spider-Man, this Peter Parker in this universe, because I'm like, okay, why is he old? Why is he fat? Why is he flubby? And then they explain it, because in the trailers it made no sense. But in the movie, they clearly explain it, because the thing is, like, we read Spider-Man comics. We know how Spider-Man is always fucking up. Peter Parker is always fucking up in his life. So imagine Peter Parker is 20-something in the comics now. So imagine doing the same bullshit 20 years later. If he keeps on the same pattern he's on, that's eventually what he will become.
Yeah, and that was also funny as hell. Like,
right.
When you think about it, that's what Spider-Man comics are.
Right.
He's constantly getting fucked over.
Right.
that's the essence of who Spider-Man is. He just can't ever catch a break.
Exactly.
And just think about it, if that guy was real, well, then that's how he's going to turn out.
That's exactly
just
how
a loser. Just breaking up with his old lady. He's fat. He
can't keep a job. He's broke.
Yeah, yeah. Even though he has all these superpowers, he's just still a fuck up.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. Like, okay, so Peter Parker is a fuck up, but let's go on the Spider-Man side of it. On the Spider-Man side, he's bored. Mm-hmm. The whole movie, like every time they get ready to do some Spider-Man shit, he already knows about 5 or 6 steps ahead what's about to happen. He's like, okay, Miles, watch. This is about to happen. That's about to happen. That's about to happen. He's bored doing this shit. He's so good at it, he doesn't care. And that was almost kind of depressing, to be honest with you. His regular life is fuck up, and he's not even having fun as Spider-Man anymore. It's just shit he just do.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's fucked up. And that's what. And I'm really going to go into spoilers also, because I don't know if a lot of people caught on to this. Remember how they kept saying that Peter Parker was like, don't worry, I'm going to be the one to stand behind. Y'all guys go. Honestly, Eli, I think the movie was trying to imply, or even might have beat you over the head, that at this point, Peter was kind of suicidal.
Yeah, he was depressed. He's definitely depressed.
He was definitely depressed, didn't care. He didn't want to go back home. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it was Miles who inspired him. And vice versa, that's what was cool about it,
Right, because that's the thing about it. He was like, yeah, life is beating you down, but Spider-Man gets back up. Peter had been beaten down so much, he didn't want to get back up. He was like, no, get your shit together, get your life back together, and go get your woman back. Because honestly, that scene when he was talking to young Mary Jane, it was funny and sad at the same time.
Yeah, when he's like, your bread, I got your
right.
Yeah.
Because he was looking at the regret on his life of what he would have done if he had a chance to get back. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up, So, but yeah, and that's the thing about the movie, that it had so much going on with, like, it had comedy, but it had heart and it had emotion. And I'm not going to get into any more spoilers, but Eli, tell me this. Did any little kids cry at your theater?
I actually was quite moved. I didn't cry, but I got I got a little.
It's okay, Eli.
Well, I got a
You're in a
little
safe
lump in my
space.
throat at
You're
some
in a
point.
safe space, Eli.
I got a little lump in my throat and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I'll be yeah. When it was a certain scene that I won't go into depth, but honestly, if you read the comic book, you know what's gonna happen. Kids, like a lot of kids were crying. You could barely hear the plot because there was so many kids crying in my theater when that part happened. I was like, that's fucked up. Like, but I held it together because my date looked at me. I was like, okay, y'all better not fucking cry, pussy. So no, I held it together, but yeah, it was so many kids crying at that scene. That's another thing about this movie, that it was actually faithful to like the Ultimate Spider-Man, like the Bendis run of the comics. Because I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm familiar enough with it that I knew what beats it was going to take, and it was like it did this, it did that, and so I knew what was going to happen. Where everybody else was kind of shocked what was about to happen. I was like, okay, but even though I knew what was going to happen, it was still shocking to see it play out.
Well,
So,
when there was a certain character or cameo that popped up that I was like, oh shit.
oh man, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
too fucking soon, man.
Oh yeah, too soon on that one. I was like, wow, they're really trying to get us with this movie.
Yeah.
But and that's so. Let me ask you this, Eli. Like I said, we've seen all these movies. Marvel's made like 50 million movies, right? What scene in any of those movies has anybody been wanting to cry at?
Out of the MCU.
Out of any of these movies?
Well, I admitted that I kind of choked up during Thor Ragnarok when the Hulk was punching himself and shit. That's just personal.
Okay,
shit.
that was emotional. Okay, I give you that. That was emotional.
That's a funny ass movie, but I just thought they nailed the Hulk so well in that movie, and those old school comics, that it just brought me back to as I was a kid again. It was like, oh, like look at that. This is the Hulk working so well on screen.
Here's my thing about that scene. That scene was touching. That scene was heartbreaking. I felt like that movie got away from that scene just quick enough so it wouldn't hit you hard enough.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh no, we're a funny comedy. We can't hit you too hard. But that was an emotional scene. I give you that. And
Other than that, I'm trying to think.
I can only think of one.
Okay.
Peter Parker dying.
Yeah, I heard about that, so I felt nothing.
I didn't know. That shit fucked me up, man. Somebody robbed you of that, Eli. You need to punch them in the face, whoever did that.
Yeah, I remember I didn't see it till Monday. Y'all were talking shit all weekend.
But don't say I did it. Now you got to punch me in the face.
So I kind of figured, like I was saying, when I saw Black Panther die in Infinity War, I was like, shit, okay. And then once everyone else started dying, I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna stick. Yeah. Right. So then when Peter Parker's died, I'm like, oh shit, he's dying too. I'm like, oh, well, he's got a movie coming out next year.
Right. So you know it's not gonna stick.
So yeah, there was a bit of a emotional detachment from that. So yeah.
Like we know he's coming back. I'm just saying, as far as the performance, that performance got me.
I'm trying to think, like in Winter Soldier, that wasn't so much like I didn't find it sad, other than the fact that it just made me fall in love with Cap. Was the scene when he goes and visits Peggy in the hospital.
Peggy in the hospital. That's another emotional scene.
And she fucking, you find out she has Alzheimer's, and she like, hey, Pete or Steve, it's you. Like she came out of the loop or whatever.
Right.
And you're alive. And he's like, yes, I'm here. And just thinking he's been doing this all the whole time. Like, I'm here. I couldn't miss like he keeps doing it, reliving the memory with her over and over. And I'm like, God damn, this guy is just a righteous motherfucker. I want to fuck him. You know? This is fucking Cap. He's just a fucking righteous dude. Just standing by his girl, even through all this shit. I'm like, man, he's the man.
Okay,
it made me cry.
That might be the most emotional scene to you. That might be the winner right there.
Yeah, I mean, it made me sad. I was just like, wow, this dude. Yeah, my heart's popping all around my head and shit. Popping.
man. So yeah, that's my thing. But like I said, we had to think about in 20 movies about which scene was what, and there was some. But honestly, it was about 2 or 3 scenes in Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse that got me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, the movie was still funny. Still had all these Easter eggs. Brought us and another thing that got me with Miles Morales, the first time when he finally learned how to swing.
Yes.
I got chills.
Whip and release.
Yeah.
And then you saw the text. That was so fucking
Like,
cool.
thwip,
The comic
yeah.
text.
Thwip.
Thwip and release. Thwip. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, the time when he was sure of himself and he knew who he was and he had put on that suit for the first time. And he went and the Post Malone, whatever the fuck was playing in the background and shit, where he was hopping over cars with the Nike Jordans on. That shit gave me chills. And I was like, this is the first time I got chills from a Spider-Man movie since the first Spider-Man movie. Like when he first started swinging through the mall with Danny Elfman was playing shit like that, because I felt none of that in Homecoming.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Homecoming was a bad movie, but I felt nothing. I took nothing away from that movie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, by the first time watching Homecoming, I felt like it was part Iron Man movie.
Right.
And it wasn't until I saw it again where I really got into it. I really liked the movie. But I didn't really feel any, there was no sadness or anything that
Right.
I just had a lot of fun with it other than that,
It was a fun movie, entertaining, easy breezy, but it didn't stick with me. It didn't make me think about it afterward. But I felt like with Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, it did. It made me stick. I haven't felt this way about a Spider-Man since the first Raimi movies.
Yeah.
That I put it on that level, and I felt like it was Miles Morales is a character on his own when he was, with Brooklyn, and the fact that he's a graffiti artist, and that plays a part into his actual costume.
Mm-hmm.
That plays.
Yeah. That scene where he is staring at Spider-Man's costume.
Yeah.
And he's looking up at it, and then you see his reflection in the mask, and that was really good. I mean, that gave me goosebumps. Like, wow, that's essentially us looking up as to our hero. You know what I mean? There was so much cool, different levels of layers of artistry going on here, themes and ideas of what this movie was going through. It was just so effective on so many levels.
Right. Like I said, I know a thing or two about storytelling and writing. Whoever wrote this shit was like this is some master level shit what they were doing.
Yeah. But I'm saying if those print dots were intentional, that's fucking brilliant.
Right. That's genius. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, it was, in my mind, this was truly a Miles Morales story. But at the same time, they did flesh out all the other million Spider-Man that were in there. You know, Spider-Pig had his own whole thing. Spider-Man Noir might have been my second favorite out of all of them. Even the Spider-Anime girl had a scene.
Yeah.
That got me. Spider-Gwen, she showed up and was doing her thing in there. So you had all these characters that were fleshed out. But at the same time, it was still a Miles Morales movie. I was like, whoever did this, man, hey, hats off. I want another one of these. I don't give a fuck if they make another Homecoming, but I want another one of these. So, yeah, I'm going to just give my score on this. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I mean, because honestly, watching this movie, I started thinking about, like, okay, why would I not give it a 5 out of 5? What is knocking this movie for me? And honestly, I'm sitting there thinking, I can't think of anything. I mean, maybe I can nitpick maybe some little bitty stuff if I really thought about it, but it's 5 out of 5. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I think it's one of the best comic book movies ever made.
Yeah, and as far as like animated movies, I mean, if somebody says there's a better animated movie this decade, please point me to it.
And that's the thing is like some of the jerky movements worked because, you talk those Pixar movies.
Right.
They're so smooth. Like I watch the Clone Wars all the time, and as cool as it's seeing those lightsaber duels, you can totally tell it's CGI shit because they just move too smooth. They're just too graceful. Yeah, they're just too smooth and graceful, and the choppy movements in this movie work so well.
Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe because honestly, I didn't notice it anymore after the 5 minutes. It just felt smooth, like I was immersed into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only time I felt like I was watching a cartoon was when Spider-Pig showed up.
And I think that was
And
intentional
that was
because he is a
intentional.
cartoon.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right. He even makes fun of it. You know?
yeah,
Oh, you don't like cartoons? You know, he hit the guy with an anvil. I'm like, okay.
yeah,
And even when he flies back into his own planet, he like, that's all, folks. And he like,
yeah.
can I say that legally? And then as he flies away, I'm like, okay, that's funny as fuck, man. I'm sorry. John Mulaney plays Spider Pig, of course. You know. So, damn. Now we got to move on to something else, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could this could have been a whole Spider-Man
It
episode.
could have been a whole Spider-Man episode. The reason it
We got a ton of books to go through.
right. The reason I didn't, because I didn't plan for it. I was like, this was an afterthought movie to me. I wasn't expecting to see one of the best movies this year. Oh.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I was expecting to talk about this next topic we were going to talk about, and that's Crisis on whatever the fuck. Elseworlds. Yeah, I'm glad I wrote that shit down because I would have forgot what this fucking thing was. I was hyped about this. I was going to make this the whole show. Now I don't care.
I even watched it because of it.
Exactly. I finally dragged Eli kicking and screaming.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of these shows in like a year.
I never get a chance to talk about CW. You go take a cigarette smoke break every time I even mention Flash or Arrow. Now we got a chance to talk about it, and I don't even give a fuck about talking about it.
Yeah.
Fuck Spider-Man. Fuck Miles Morales. All right, okay, let's talk about it. Eli, I'm gonna go this time. I'm not gonna put the pressure on you. I'm gonna go this time. Okay. Let me give some. I'm glad I took some notes on this. Okay. So like I said, it was awesome. I do feel like this. As much as I like this crossover, I do feel like last year's crossover was better. I feel like last year's crossover was bigger, epic. I feel like the stakes were bigger. And even though this one was awesome, I do feel like it's a setup for next year. I feel like it's a prequel for what they're really trying to do.
Are they going to try and bring Darkseid?
Not Darkseid. Actually, somebody bigger than Darkseid.
Okay, I was wondering who the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah, they were talking about the Anti-Monitor.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, this is some deep cut inside baseball DC shit. And that's what I actually liked about the Elseworld story, because they went into some deep DC shit. You know, like Spider-Man was like throwing spider shit at you whether you catch it or not. This was probably even more. Like every time you turn around, they were throwing some bullshit at you.
Okay.
Yes. Like for instance, the guy with the gold mask.
Yeah, yeah. You know who I thought that was?
Who?
Well, because it was Arkham and it was, Gotham City. I thought they were referencing the Court of Owls. So I got all excited.
It wasn't.
But I guess it wasn't, no.
It wasn't. That is actually Psycho Pirate.
Yeah, and now I'm like way less excited.
Well, I got excited for him. The reason I got excited for him because I realized when Psycho Pirate showed up, because Psycho Pirate only had one good arc, and that was in Crisis on Infinite Earth. When Anti-Monitor was there, he was like Anti-Monitor's right-hand man. So I'm like, okay, if he's here, then obviously he's going to be the Anti-Monitor's, big threat and stuff like that.
And that's what I was wondering. I remember watching it and I'm thinking, are they making, is this basically Crisis on Infinite Earth that they're doing?
It basically was.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. And people are excited about Crisis on Infinite Earth, but they don't really know the story. Because at the end of that story, both Supergirl and Flash die. Yeah,
and that's what they were saying. I was like, well, you guys could die because of this. And I'm like, oh, shit. Are they? Like, no way. They're not going to do that, are they?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Okay, so like I said, Flash and Supergirl looked like they were going to die at the end of this arc. But then Ollie did something where he saved them. So I guess they weren't going to die. But here's the thing. Remember in the very first pilot episode of Flash?
Okay, yeah.
So we talked about that before. Remember they said Flash dies in a crisis. They say it in the pilot episode.
Okay.
And the arc, and that's actually what I kind of liked about this whole crossover, is that all of the storylines that are going on right now in the season, they're on hold. And they don't even mention them. They're like, look, don't worry about the crazy shit going on right now. All these new characters popping up, don't worry about them. We're just doing a regular ass Flash and whatever story. Because right now his daughter is in the show. And his daughter is telling him that, no, you died. I grew up without a father. And that's just, she's trying to do what she can to change it, So, yeah, if they go by the storyline, even go by the pilot, Flash dies. And of course, Supergirl dies also because the Anti-Monitor kills her. You know, so I doubt that would be a fucked up way to cancel Supergirl. No season 5 for you, Anti-Monitor just blast the shit out of it. So yeah, that would be fucked up. So many other Easter eggs in there. Okay, Diggle. You know who Diggle is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you catch it when the Barry Allen from Earth 90 showed up, looks at Diggle, recognizes Diggle, and asks him where's his ring?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I do remember that. I told that now that you're pointing that out to me.
Yeah. So I didn't catch it at first either. Somebody at my job pointed that out to me. I was like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. So yeah, he was trying to say he's a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Which has always been a fan theory for like years already. They're saying like John Diggle, real name is like John Diggle Stewart, you know, but he changed his name, but that's not true because his brother was on the show also named Diggle and all this stuff. So, but obviously he may be, but obviously I guess on the planet where he comes from, Diggle looks like the Green Lantern John Stewart from his planet. So it's no big deal, you know. So who knows? Maybe in the next Crisis in Infinite Earth storyline we get, he will become Green Lantern.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. They got to do something to get people to watch. So, I'm trying to see what other notes I got because I actually took like a bunch of notes, but my brain is so jumbled from what I just saw. Let's see. Like I said, they took out some other stuff. Oh, let's talk about Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
They had this big ass fight in Arkham Asylum. It was so many Easter eggs just flying all over the place. Eli, let me ask you this: was that Nora Freeze?
Oh yeah. Was that? Yeah, I was wondering who that was.
Yeah, because I actually went back. They never named her, but I went back and like put the caption on the dialogue, see the stuff she was saying. She was saying like when Deegan turned off the locks on Arkham Asylum, her pod opened up. There she said, and she's saying he says I need to get a code below 0. That's what she kept saying.
Yeah.
And then she was like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And eventually she found Mr. Freeze's gun.
Yeah.
So it had to be Nora Freeze.
Well, I was looking because if you saw some of the names on the doors,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you saw like Cobblepot, you saw, was it P. Isley?
Poison Ivy. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I was looking for that shit, and I remember seeing Freeze.
No, the only time you saw Freeze was on the gun when she cracked open the box with the gun.
Yeah, the gun. I saw the name Freeze.
Yeah.
So,
and B. Carlo, that was Clayface.
Okay, yeah, and then Crane, the toxin when the fear toxin
Yeah,
got out.
when they
I
started
saw
fighting each other.
Jay Crane or whatever. I was
Yeah,
like, oh shit, it's Scarecrow.
Scarecrow when they fought each other.
Yeah.
Guggenheim, some people have been asking me who is Guggenheim. They saw Guggenheim on it. Guggenheim is the showrunner.
Okay.
So that was just a nod to him that yeah, he's insane. He's in insane asylum. So just trying to think who else. Oh, Enigma. Enigma was there also.
Oh really? I don't remember seeing Enigma.
Yeah, Enigma was there too.
Okay.
So like I said, name on there. All right, let me ask you this: what'd you think about Batwoman?
I thought she was fine. I wish there was more to her. You know, they kind of hyped up this whole thing, and
Yeah,
she was only
like
really
2
in one
scenes
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't even show up again. She showed up like the very end and had a phone call, but that's really about it, you know.
Yeah.
Flirted with Supergirl. Supergirl flirted back? And actually used her X-ray vision to see her naked?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Supergirl's looking at Batwoman like that's her one free hall pass. Like, if I were to go that way, that's the way I'd go. Kind of like Superman and Batman.
It's Berlanti. It's fucking Berlanti, man.
He's gonna throw it in there. People never get on Berlanti though. They get on everybody else, but they never. But he's scot free.
Yeah.
How does that work?
He's like, fuck it. Hey, it's like everybody's gay on my show.
Like everybody is gay. Like dudes are just tongue kissing each other down. Like I said, I got no problem with it. I do whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just funny that he never gets any backlash on it. And I think he even does it on purpose. Like, well, nobody's saying anything. I'm just really gonna go with it.
So fuck it. I'm just gonna be everybody's gay. The whole universe is gay.
Right. Everybody's gay. And so yeah, that's awesome. So Superman shows up again. I don't like his costume. I realize what I don't like about this Superman. I don't like his hair.
Okay.
That's all. I don't like his hair.
I don't like his teeth. No, I don't know.
Somebody put up a picture of the bad guy from Jimmy Neutron. It sort of looked like just like Superman. And now let me address something else, because John Campea has got these fanboys in a titties in a twist now. Now he's going on this week-long rant calling Superman a jobber, saying CW shits on Superman the whole time, and that's it. Me personally, disagree. I do not think Superman was a jobber this crossover. Has he been a jobber in these shows before? Abso-fucking-lutely. But not in this crossover. They couldn't have beat any of these people without Superman being there. The plot of the last episode was to go get Superman. Because otherwise they would have got their ass whooped by Superman.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, like, where did they jump to this leap of logic how he's a jobber? I don't get that. He didn't put Supergirl over. All he did is compliment his cousin. Yes. He left to go take care of his family and take care of little stuff like that and leave the plan in the hands of Supergirl. But that doesn't make him a jobber just because he, gave his cousin credit. Like, hey, you're awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. So, plus, Supergirl is stronger than him. That's the whole reason she died in Infinite Crisis. Because Superman fought the Anti-Monitor first. He beat the shit out of Superman. Supergirl went for him. Actually got some good shots in on him. Still got her ass killed, but still. So, that's the thing. But no, he's not a jobber. So, stop quoting everything John Campea is saying word for word like it's the gospel. Stop being a cult. Damn. Hate nerds. Oh, what else I was talking about? Crisis. Elseworlds. What the fuck name is this show? It was pretty fun. They had Barry's playing around with Flash powers and Flash playing around with Barry's powers. Batman exists. That's cool. Matter of fact, Batman exists in 2 realities. They mentioned. Because the whole time Supergirl knew who Batman was because she knew on her planet that Batman was Bruce Wayne. She just never admitted it to Flash and Arrow. But she knew the whole time, so I thought that was pretty cool. Overall, pretty cool. All I know is that for Crisis on Infinite Earths, they need to go balls to the wall, all out. Batman needs to be there. Stop bullshitting. Put Batman in it.
Yeah, I mean, Superman's there.
Superman's there. Why not Batman?
And it was cool. I mean, that Superman fights were cool and shit.
Yeah, just throw everybody in it. Just put them in there. Cast Wonder Woman. I don't give a fuck. Put them all in there. CW Wonder Woman. Shit, why not? So yeah, they can do that. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I know you said that you wanted more of Batwoman. If they give me a Batwoman TV show, I'm on board. I'm fine with Ruby Rose as Batwoman and everything they did. They already set up the Rogues Gallery with Arkham all over the place, stuff like that. So. Yeah, give me more Batwoman. Give me more Gotham. I like how they had Gotham so fucked up on the show. They had Gotham worse on this show than they did on Gotham. Because it was one scene they just walked into Gotham and then they saw this armored truck and there was 2 rich people walking out with bags going shopping, but they had an armored guard next to them just in case they get shot. I'm like, okay, Arkham City wasn't even as fucked up in the video game. It's like nobody comes to Gotham. So yeah, it was some fun stuff. I'm trying to think what other Easter eggs did I see. Mainly just the Arkham Asylum shit. The Book of Destiny. I think the Book of Destiny was in one of those Crises. I can't remember which one. But anyway. Yeah, that's all. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Pretty awesome. I almost gave it lower just because we just talked about Spider-Man. I forgot everything that happened on it. But I'm going to still give it a 4.5 out of 5 because it was still awesome for what I remember. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't watched any of those shows in about a year. And I was able to just jump right back in without having to know anything that I missed. So
right. And on top of that, they made sure to keep it simple because, like I said, the legends were not there because the legends are fucking confusing. They completely left them out. And yeah, just kept it simple. So, damn, that's 2 big topics. Shit, let's just move on next. You move to the video game section?
Sure.
Cool. All right, so the video game section. Only thing I'm going to talk about real quick is Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy Telling. I feel like yeah, actually, it's 2 things we're going to talk about there. We're going to talk about Soulja Boy Telling first. So, last week, I may or may not have talked about it. I don't know. I didn't listen to last week's episode. Hopefully, you did. That Soulja Boy came out with a new console. Why? I don't know. But there's some things about his console. His console is full of illegal emulated ROMs, which, as you know, are illegal. So he's been selling them just openly for nobody, and of course, he didn't get hit with a lawsuit. I think he got actually hit with charges. Apparently, what he's doing, selling illegal ROMs to other people, it's like a really big crime, like a federal crime. So
Okay.
I think Nintendo is trying to send him to jail because he has some Nintendo ROMs on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're saying he might get 10 years. But here's the thing. Soulja Boy actually has 2 consoles out with illegal emulated ROMs on there. So he might get 10 years per console. So
Okay.
who does dumb shit like this? You don't have to be a lawyer to understand that don't sell emulated ROMs. Don't. That's like me uploading Joe Rogan's podcast on this podcast and giving it to the people.
Or selling those illegal Fire Sticks, right?
Or that. Yeah. But at least if I did sell illegal Fire Sticks, at least
And putting your name on it, like
and putting your name on it. But okay,
Leroy and Eli's illegal Fire Sticks. Get them while they're hot.
we cut a commercial. We got
Yeah,
a Facebook
put our-
page.
Put our face on them and shit.
Right. We trademark it. You know. Yeah. So that would be fucking stupid of us to do something like that. So yeah, that's I don't want to see Soulja Boy go to jail. I kind of like that he was branching out, trying to be an entrepreneur, but don't be this fucking stupid. Just don't. If you're even gonna do some shit like that, don't advertise it. Don't even put your name on it. Tell it through somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, one more thing we could talk about video game related that I almost actually forgot about it because it was so horrific. I almost blocked it out of my memory. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah.
People been bitching about this. So like,
It's horrifying how bad this movie is. Have you seen the poster?
I saw the poster.
Okay, they showed a poster, a video, and it looks fucking weird, man. It haunts me looking at this shit. Like, what the fuck is this? You know, they showed, I think, the San Francisco Bridge. And it's got like rings around it, you know, because Sonic is always running fast and shit like that. They had some casting choices in there. Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I think that might be. That's actually a pretty smart choice.
Yeah, I was like that. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, put some makeup on it. He actually might make the movie, make movie actually salvageable. And I saw a poster with Chris, which one of the Chris's, the Marvel Chris's, the Guardians Chris, whatever his name is. I forget
Chris
the name.
Pratt.
That guy. Yeah. So I saw a picture with him in the poster, teaming up with the Hedgehog because his raccoon money dried up. Because Marvel was doing all that other bullshit. So I don't even know if that's true. I don't know if he's in the movie or not. But I just know I saw a post with him. There's a lot of fake not a lot of fake posters going around also, each more horrific than the last one. So I don't know what to believe now. But yes, here's the thing, Eli. Sonic has been around for say 30 years. I've lost track of 30 years. He deserves a shitty movie, don't he?
Sure.
Yeah, give him a shitty movie. At the same time, people always bitch stuff like that. Remember, this movie is for kids. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. They're not making a gritty reboot of it. You know, it won't be Batman v Superman level. Let them have a shitty movie. Video game movies are just going to be shit for a while. That's just what they're going to be. And if they're not going to be shit, Sonic the Hedgehog is not going to turn it around. The Sonic the Hedgehog never had a compelling plot or mythos or pathos or some shit like that. Like, let's look at the soul of Sonic. No. Fucking Hedgehog ran around collecting rings. That's the story.
Yeah, I didn't understand the backlash. Like, okay, so he looks
You're
like
raping
shit.
my childhood.
Like, yeah, I mean, I saw it and I didn't mind, but then again, I don't really give a fuck about Sonic. I haven't gave a fuck about Sonic in 20 years.
Right. So why are these 30 or 40-year-old fuckers getting upset?
This is a travesty. This looks like shit. I'm not seeing this. It's like, well, I wasn't going to see it either because, like, I'm not fucking 5 years old.
Right. Like, they really get triggered over this shit.
Yeah. Like, holy shit, are you that bored at work or on the toilet that you just feel the need to register your disgust over Sonic the Hedgehog throughout the world?
I mean, let's be honest. What did you expect the Sonic the Hedgehog movie to look like?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, everything other than like the creepy furry porno look he's got to him, It's pretty much what I expected a Sonic movie to look like. So, I don't know. That's it. Another shitty Sonic movie, a video game movie coming up. He can be right there with the Mario movie. It can't be worse than the Mario movie.
Yeah, that was pretty shitty.
The director even said he never played the game.
That's some bad shit.
Right.
That was a bad movie, man. And they even made toys for that shit.
It really was.
Which I was like, why? Why the fuck you making toys for this piece of shit? And who the fuck is buying this shit?
Somebody
Who the fuck bought Mario Brother movie toys?
Slowly
I bet you they're worth a lot now.
Slowly raise his hand.
Did you?
I think I might have. I don't know. I think I wanted it, but I couldn't find it.
I bet you they're worth
like
a lot too.
super deep into Mario, so you slap Mario anything, I was getting it.
I mean, yeah, I played the games and shit, but that movie was a pile of shit. And I was high too.
But at the same time, I was so obsessed with Mario that I didn't want to believe it was shit. You know. So yeah, we can get past that. Can we actually move to the comic book section now?
Yeah, we better. We got a haul.
Oh shit, yeah. Let's get through this. Can we talk about some other bullshit? So like I said, those who've been listening this long, this is the bread and butter of the podcast. We crank out comics left and right. We're gonna talk about this week's comics. We're gonna get through as much as we can. Eli, should I go first?
You might as well.
Yeah, let me go.
I got about 5. I think you got about 5. I think, yeah.
I'll let you go first. How about that?
Which one do you want to do? Well, I'll get through this since we got all this Batman shit. I'll start with Batman.
So much Batman.
Batman, just it's the Batman.
For those who haven't listened to the podcast that much, I'm not the Batman reviewer. It's not that I hate Batman. I just don't care for him that much. If that makes any sense.
You're the Superman guy.
I'm the Superman guy. Superman's my guy. So yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll go with I got the Batman Detective Comics and the Batman Annual. Batman Detective Comics 994 Countdown to 1000.
Now, I will read that when it comes out. So.
Yeah, Peter Tomasi on this book now. This was really fucking cool. It sets up this really weird fucking mystery where Gordon and Batman are investigating some sort of recreation of Batman's parents' murder. So they find a couple of bodies that look just like Tom and Martha Wayne. Basically recreating the same exit wounds and all that shit. While that's going on, we have Leslie Tompkins, Batman's sort of surrogate mother. Known her. She was friends with his dad, and all that shit. Kind of,
She's been around for decades, yeah.
Yeah, she has a soft spot for Batman. She knows Bruce Wayne. She knows he's Batman, all that shit. Anyway, she's getting attacked by this big giant monster with like 4 arms. He's kind of glowing lava red. Kind of looks like Goro from Mortal Kombat and shit. And he's chasing Leslie. Batman comes to save her. The monster grabs Leslie and breathes this weird mist into her face. Batman, and then throws her off the roof. Batman uses his grappling hook to save her. And then he's like, "Are you okay?" And then she turns around. She's like, "I don't think I feel so. Ha 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 ha."
Oh shit!
And she's all fucking wicked Joker face. And that's where the book ends. So, pretty cool story. I give it a 4 out of 5. It's a really weird mystery going on, and involving Batman's origin story. So, and then with that, I will go on to the Batman Annual.
Okay.
And this was really cool too. I really dug this. This is an annual. It's what I feel an annual should be. Just a cool story. About the characters, about the world that doesn't have to relate to the current continuity. This book, it's a one shot, and this is it just centers on Alfred and all the things that Alfred does. His dedication to Batman. It highlights their relationship and the history together. What he does for Batman, how he worries about him while he's out doing his shit. And it's a very poignant, moving story. just showcasing their relationship, their dynamic. At the end, Batman is bringing Alfred breakfast in bed, and he's like, "You need a day off, man." He's like, "I'm not going out tonight because I know you worry about me. You can't relax when I'm out doing my Batman shit." And he goes, "Is this sort of some special day?" He says, "Of course it is." And it's shows the last panel. It shows Alfred eating his breakfast and a picture of Alfred and young Bruce on his table, and the title of the story. It's called Father's Day.
Oh.
Aww. So yeah, that was a good one too. 4 out of 5. So my we'll get these 2 Batman books out of the way for these other 2 Batman books.
I guess I'll knock out the next Batman book.
I'll help you because I read them too.
You're gonna have to help me on this one. This is
Which one we doing?
Let's do the rough one first. Let's do Batman Damned.
Okay.
Oh man, so much Batman shit. Let's get through this shit. Okay, so Batman Damned number 2. The Bat Dick returns. Not this time.
No,
No,
the Batman didn't return.
The Bat Dick
God
did not
damn it.
return this time. Bat Dick
And
forever. Nope.
And it fucked up something else. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll get to that. I got a grind, a gear to
I was
grind.
gonna say, please don't say bone to pick. No more dick jokes. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this thing off. Okay, so like I said, Constantine and Batman are talking about what they just found out. They found that church has been desecrated with Joker material, so obviously the Joker must still be alive. They try to find a lead, and Constantine leads them to there's only one lead they might know, and he goes to this underground club, and on stage he sees this rapper on stage, and it turns out the rapper is the Demon Etrigan. For some fucking reason. He's a rapper now, which you kind of saw it coming,
Well, you know what? I thought about this when this scene came up, this part of the book came on. It reminded me of when the original Killing Joke, when the Joker sings that song.
Right. So loony.
Yeah.
That's.
I was like, are they just purposely writing in a musical number for this book series?
Maybe. I didn't even think about it that way, because they are making parallels between this and the Killing Joke. You're right about that. They make some more parallels also. So, yeah, the Demon Etrigan is on stage. Spitting bars, I guess. Yeah. He sees Batman on stage. He flips off the stage, sees Batman in the crowd, and starts rap battling him. For no fucking reason. Batman grabs him, asks him, "Stop fucking rapping. Suck. I don't want to buy your mixtape. Where's the fucking Joker?" He just telling me you don't know where the Joker is. But then instead of that, he makes everybody in the club pull a gun on Batman at the same time. Batman like, "Well, you're too close to me, so if they shoot me, they're gonna shoot you." And then while he's doing that, he's still spitting more bars to start rapping at him. He's like, "No." And then they all pull the gun on each other, But apparently, Deadman is there and possesses one of the bodies, and he turns around and pull a gun on Demon Etrigan. But apparently some other weird shit happens outside, so they run outside and they see the bat signal, but the bat signal has a Joker smile on it. So obviously know some other big shit is going on right. So they know where the Joker is right now, basically. But before they can get to the Joker, buildings are on fire all over the city. There's one building where they see some helpless people upstairs. Batman and Constantine go up to try to help. No, not Batman and Deadman try to go up to help people. But the thing is, Deadman starts to get set on fire in the body he's in, so his body dies, so he can't go help him. Batman goes up and sees only one person up there who kind of like a homeless version of the Spectre. And the Spectre, the Spectre, Spirit of Vengeance, Voice of God.
I didn't know that's who it was, though.
It may or may not be. I'm just looking at it. I'm just thinking it was. Might have been. And I'm completely missing. We talked about Enchantress. Enchantress saw them in the alley, made him cry, but fuck all that shit. Okay, so he saw Spectre, and Spectre says, "I know your secret. I know your secret." And Batman's like, "Tell me." So they fight in the middle of a fire or some shit. Batman gets his ass whooped. Before he dies, the Demon Etrigan sees some more bars, hand him his mixtape, drags him outside. "Because I spit hot fire, that's what set the building on fire." Probably didn't, but that's what happens. So they recover. Batman sees the Joker on the Gotham roof by the bat signal with the smile on it. A bunch of goons come up. Batman jumps up, beats shit out the goons, puts his hands on who he thinks is the Joker, but it's not the Joker. It's actually Eli. Give it to me. Who is it?
Ooh, yes, you're very Revier Harley.
Harley Quinn.
Like
the fantabulous Epidemis, yeah, whatever. So we see Harley.
Like just so that like you're not gonna know because of the cover, you know?
Right, you're not gonna know, but Harley Quinn is there. She's pissed because she blames Batman for killing Joker, so she's trying to beat the shit out of Joker. They fight, whatever. Batman is beating the shit out of her. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Beats the shit out of her.
Like, okay,
Does he kill her?
he doesn't kill her, but I'm like, he's like really.
I
punching
don't
this
know,
shit.
man.
Okay,
if you look at that,
before we get there. Okay, so he's beating this shit, like putting hands on Harley, just beating the shit out of her, punching in the face and shit like that. Harley's done. She says she don't want to live anymore because Joker's not here anymore. But before she pretends like she's about to, surrender and give up, she stabs Batman in the neck with syringe. He's paralyzed, and she tries to rape him.
Yeah.
But that's when Batman starts choking the shit out of her, and maybe killed her, maybe didn't.
Yeah, you see that ghost in the water or the reflection of the water and shit.
Right. Not even that, but the scene before then, like the water drops on the ground. That's the exact same scene from the last scene of The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the book is making parallels. So,
Yeah.
it's still a weird fucking story.
Yeah, the story is weird and kind of goofy at times,
Yeah.
but the art is fucking amazing.
The art is amazing. I'm like, wow, it's worth the buying for that alone, even though the story is so weird. I will say this: this issue is less convoluted than the last issue, or maybe just because the first issue was so weird, it kind of let me know what tone we're going. So I was in the mind for, okay, this is the type of story we're on. So I was able to follow this one a little bit better than I was the first issue.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of weird shit, like the shit with the Enchantress and Dead Man and all that crap. I'm like, whatever the fuck. I mean, the most interesting thing I thought about this book was the shit with his parents.
Yeah. And Eli, the more stuff they're saying about his parents, the more I think my original theory might come true. It's starting to make sense now.
It totally does.
Yep. For those that didn't listen to whatever the fuck what happened last time, listen to the Batman with 2 dicks. That was the name of the episode. But my theory was that Bruce made a deal with some kind of entity or demon or god or something to have his parents killed.
Yeah, man.
That's what I think happened. Because basically they were into so much bullshit and basically making his life a living hell.
Yeah. Are you going to eat another cheeseburger if that's wrong?
I'm going to do something. We'll see.
Eat a whole large pizza.
Ooh. Nobody wants to see me do that. I don't even want to see me do that.
Okay.
Oh,
I got my titties in a twist.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Okay.
Or maybe it is. Yeah. You didn't want no more dick jokes? Well, I got titty jokes. Because this is the DC Black Label, right?
Right.
This is supposed to be for mature readers, right?
Right.
That's why we had to look at Batman's dick last time, right?
Right.
Harley Quinn, that shot of Harley Quinn straddling fucking Batman with their fucking showing her scars.
Yeah.
That was an exposed nipple, but they covered it up because everybody bitched about Batman's dick.
Oh, okay. Now, well, let's back this up. Now, do you know this for sure, or are we just going on?
I don't know for sure.
I'm with you.
But I'm assuming they covered up her, because if you look at that panel, it looks like half-assed.
Like it just drew right over.
They just covered that shit up because they didn't want people to bitch. So we got to see Batman's dick, but we don't get to see Harley's tits. What the fuck,
hell,
man?
Even though we've seen Harley's tits in other books before.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell, man?
White Knight, one of those books, they had a fucking sex scene and she showed nipple in that one.
And this is supposed to be the Black Label for mature readers.
Right.
And they bitched about dick. Now we don't get tits.
But they say, like, fuck every other word.
Everyone's swearing up the storm. But no tits.
Right. You got Jesus Christ Joker, but you scared over a dick and some titties?
He's strangling Harley Quinn.
Right. He's beating the shit out of her, punching her in the face repeatedly.
Yeah. He's Yeah,
We're
but we
fine
don't
with
get to
that
see,
though. We're fine with that.
yeah, but we can't see it. We can't see a nipple.
Can't see a nipple.
In a day and age where women are fighting for the right to breastfeed in public, free the nipple. DC is gonna fucking cave to this bullshit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Why did?
Just for that, 3 out of 5.
Oh, come on! No. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. You took off a point for a half a point for each nipple.
Just for DC not having balls to show.
Okay,
tits.
I'm on the page right now. I definitely see what you're talking about. I definitely see.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Come on, Jeff Johns.
Yeah, man.
You can't give in.
Yeah, for mature readers,
Right.
hyped all this shit, make us buy this big ass book, fucking $7 and shit.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Damn it. I'm gonna give it a 3 also. I was gonna give it a higher score than you said that. Because I'm sitting here looking at the panel. It's clearly exactly what you said it was.
Yeah.
They just painted over it. That's all they did. Just a quick edit over it. Ah.
Yeah, you know it was probably exposed.
Oh,
And
man.
because of all the bullshit, because everybody's act like a bunch of babies over a penis.
It's just a dick.
It's just a dick. Yeah.
Oh, shit. What other Batman book we got, man?
We got the Batman Who Laughs.
Okay. You want to do it? I want to do it. How we going to do it?
We can. Do you want to do it? I guess I could do it. I don't know.
You can
Want to do it?
Yeah, I'll let you do that one.
Okay, the Batman Who Laughs. It's awesome. Buy it. 5 out of 5.
I mean, you got to review it, man.
Well, okay, yeah, Snyder. Well, picking up for where dark. Now, I haven't read any of that Justice League shit, so I was a little foggy on some of the shit a little
Only
bit.
thing you need to know is that he made a deal with Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor let him loose. That's all.
Okay, who? Batman Who Laughs?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, Batman is chasing these cronies who are. Were they burying a body? They got a body, and they're trying to bury it where all the homeless people are buried.
Right.
But Batman catches up with them and beats the shit out of him and grabs the body. It turns out it's Bruce Wayne's. It's his body. It's Bruce Wayne's body. But it looks like a different version of Bruce Wayne's body.
Older version.
Yeah. A happy version, right? Wasn't he smiling?
Yeah, happy
so
version. He got a
basically,
tattoo of his kid. He's got a wedding ring. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like a really weird mystery setup. Then all of a sudden, what's this Grim Knight shit? See, man, who's this Grim Knight dude?
See, they never showed him before. He's never been in a book before. This is his first appearance.
Okay, I thought he was part of Justice League or something. I don't know.
No. They specifically say in the book that the Batman Who Laughed has been hiding him the entire time. So we never appeared since then. But I honestly, when I saw him, I was like, Eli, go get this book a 5 out of 5 just for this guy.
Well, he does. He breaks into Arkham and just murks everybody with
Punisher.
guns and shit. Yeah,
I mean, he's the
it's Frank
Batman
Castle
Punisher,
dressed
right.
up as Batman.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's a Joker. He goes to the Joker's cell. And but then the Batman Who Laughs shows up and kills the Joker. But it turns out that wasn't really the Joker.
Right. Because the Joker's already escaped.
Yeah. So basically at the end of the book, there's a Joker that creeps into the Batcave. And then fucking what's he doing? There's like he pulls the gun out on Alfred or whatever.
Yeah.
And Batman tries to stop him. And then he shoots himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, the gun, because it was a trick gun that was designed to backfire on him.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And it releases the Joker toxin.
Right.
So, and he's like,
yeah,
because he's like, the Batman Who Laughs is here. The only way you can defeat him is if you become him. So he kills himself in front of the Joker or in front of Batman, and Batman takes a whiff of the toxin. And the last panel, it shows Batman going ha 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 ha.
Yep.
So I'm like, holy shit.
So we got a Joker Batman.
Yep, a Batman Who Laughs in this universe. So.
Right, which was weird because honestly, I didn't understand what this book was when I first started reading. I thought this book was supposed to be about like where he came from, or like a prequel book with the Batman. I didn't know it was in this universe.
Yeah, well, there was a tie-in there was a Joker or a Batman Who Laughs tie-in during Metal. So, but yeah, I was kind of expecting the same thing. It was going to be like him doing shit. I didn't know it was going to be, Scott Snydery multiverse shit.
Yeah. Like he's actually in this universe, right? Because basically they showed Mr. Freeze, right? So that Punisher Batman killed everybody except Mr. Freeze.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but everybody else fucking dead. So that's I don't know where the fuck they're gonna go with the story with that one. But the funny thing is that like because Batman knew Joker was in the river, like going to the Batcave. He knew that.
Because
shit.
wasn't that from not the Court of Out? Was it Death in the Family? Where
it was from two. It was from Death in the Family and Endgame. It was from both.
Endgame, yeah. He knows how to get into the Batcave and shit.
Yeah, he knows that's the entrance to get in the Batcave. He's known it because he's come in there several times before. So Batman knew Joker was already coming.
Yeah,
which is really fucked up. So, yeah, cool ass story. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 because I just want to see because it was confusing for me at first because I thought it was a multiverse story, not knowing that it was a regular story. I kept thinking that the Batman at the beginning of the story was like, okay, when is he going to become evil? But no, it's just regular ass Batman. So
yeah.
But I'm interested to see where the story goes. You got evil Batman versus evil Batman.
Evil, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that turns out.
Yeah, 6 issues, so I'm on board.
Yeah. We got any more Batman books, or we ran through them all?
I think we're done with the Batman section of the podcast.
Okay, shit. Okay, my turn. Okay, now let's talk about Superman number 6. I need a palate cleanser. Let's talk about Superman. Okay, so Superman number 6. Superman's in the Phantom Zone with Rogozar. Last time we left off, Zod just overheard with his super hearing that Rogozar killed Krypton. He's fucking pissed. So the book starts off with Zod and Rogozar beating the shit out of each other. And Superman tries to interrupt them. Zod just slaps him the fuck away, and he realizes, oh yeah, I'm not gonna stop these guys fighting. So he's sitting there debating on what should I do? Should I stop them from fighting? Should I just let them kill each other? What should I do? And then he thinks about it, he's like, I got it. And he just joins Zod, and they both start fighting Rogozar. Rogozar is just looking at both of them like, you can both fight me. I'm still going to kill both of you. I don't care. He just gives him that look. And Superman kind of lets Zod know in his own way that Rogozar also killed Kandor, which really pisses off Zod. So right before Zod and Superman can just really just go to town on Rogozar and just rush at him, next second blinks, and Superman is back on Earth. And the Adam and Adam Strange, I might say his name wrong, but they look at him like, thank you, we got you back, Superman. You're back on planet Earth. We were able to pinpoint you in the Phantom Zone and find your molecules, and we were able to bring you back. And Superman's like, no, send me back right now to the Phantom Zone. They're like, want to go back to the Phantom Zone? Like, yes, send me back right now. I got to find out what happened with Rogozar and Zod or what's going on there. But before they can even finish the conversation, Martian Manhunter tells him there's an emergency going on across country, and Adam looks at him like, okay, you can go back to the Phantom Zone and defend the honor of Krypton, the planet's already dead, or you can help save the Earth right now. The man looks and like, all right, I'll go save the planet. So he goes and does his Superman shit, goes saves everybody, stuff like that. The whole time he's wondering what happened on Phantom Zone, on the Phantom Zone. Spoiler alert: Rogozar beats the shit out of Zod. So, but he doesn't know that, so he just stuck there. So while he's saving the planet, and he knows that the only way to get answers about what's going on, I gotta find my father, but I don't know where Jor-El is. He could be anywhere in the multiverse, but I don't know. And then as soon as he turns around, he says, "Oh, I recognize their heartbeat, but it can't be. It's stronger, more powerful than what it used to be." And he turns around, and it's Jonathan Kent, but he's older and flying, which he couldn't do before. And he's like, "Hey, Dad, don't be alarmed." That's how the book ends. And at the bottom it says, next issue, The Return of Superboy. The book ends.
Shit.
Yeah. So, pretty cool story. I give it a 4 to 5. I'm still pissed off that Superman can't get a good fight in with Rogozar. Somebody is always interrupting that shit. Supergirl interrupts it. Batman interrupts it. Zod interrupts it. Fuck. Eventually they're going to have a good fight. But they still dragging on this mystery of did he do what he said he did and why is he so fucking strong? Just beating the shit out of every. Because honestly, I feel like he would have killed both Superman and Zod if they both would have fought him at the same time. So, I don't know. That's all I got. Well, I got more, but with another book. So.
What else you got? I got you. What? I'm done with DC. All I got is the only Marvel book. Do you want me to do Miles Morales, or do you want to do Miles Morales?
I'll do my Morales.
All right, well, go ahead.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll do my Morales. You just jump in whenever you need to. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, like I said, we're on this Spider-Man multiverse kick, and Marvel honestly was pretty smart with this by releasing a Miles Morales book at the same time.
No
And
shit.
yeah, and the funny thing is that this is the first time that Miles Morales has been written in a solo book that wasn't done by Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis, because Brian Michael Bendis, you know, Miles Morales is his baby. You
I
know,
guess, yeah. I suppose, yeah. He has been writing.
yeah. I mean, in the
So,
Ultimate Universe when he made him, Bendis was all over him. Bendis brought him over to the regular universe. Still kept writing those stories. Still kept cranking out stories when Bendis left. So now this is a whole new creative team on here. And matter of fact, Eli, they said specifically, this is your new favorite book.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said. So Marvel
Okay.
didn't lie. So yeah, so we get to the beginning of the story, and basically Miles Morales is in school, in his prep school, the same school he was in the movie Visions. They basically give him an assignment. He's got to write a diary. So he's writing a diary about his exploits like that. He's basically telling you all the stuff he does, how he became Miles Morales, what he does with his. Apparently, his dad is a Shield agent. He just found that out. His parents know who he is. Blah blah blah, stuff like that. And the book starts to get kind of topical and political.
Oh yeah.
SJW ish.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Comic skaters are gonna hate
They're
it.
gonna hate. Well, they're gonna hate this book anyway. Just,
Well, yeah.
yeah. So
That's just the cherry on top.
right, exactly. Like, you're gonna get pissed off anyway. Might as well give you a reason to. So, like, his girlfriend, is babysitting this boy, and the reason she's babysitting the boy because his family, has been detained, by the Mexican border. So,
Mhm.
and kids have been getting kidnapped left and right, stuff like that, and they're being taken. And Miles is thinking to himself, like, should I do something about it? Because remember, he's not just black. He's black and Puerto Rican. He's Afro
Yeah.
Latino. So, those are his people too.
Hmm.
So he has to think long and hard about, like, should I do anything about this? I don't know if I should jump into that because that may be past my jurisdiction as being Spider-Man. But before he can think about it too long, of course, it's a robbery across street, across town, stuff like that. He sees a bunch of dudes dressed up like that. He goes to there, beat the shit out of himself. But while he beats the shit out of him, he turns around and it's Rhino. Now, apparently, this is the first time he's ever seen Rhino before. First time Rhino's ever seen him. Rhino looks at him. Oh, yeah, you're that Spider kid, that new one. Yeah, I have no time for you. Let me know when the real one gets here, And Miles just attacks him anyway. Rhino just brushes him off like, dude, you're nobody. You're not even that good. The other one is like faster than you. You're outmatched. He's throwing webbing at him. Nothing happens. He even does that spider venom sting shit on him. Rhino just brushes it off. And eventually, Rhino actually just gets tired of fighting him. He's like, you know what, kid? You win. Fuck it. I'm not here to fight you anyway. I have other shit to do. I'm here looking for one of my family members, his cousin or niece or something like that. And
He's-
yeah, and they know where he's at. So he goes there, and Miles Morales goes and fight those guys again and knocks off the mask on like the smallest one of the soldiers. And it turns out to be that same kid his girlfriend was babysitting. He's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? So apparently, and I'm just guessing because we know by the next issue, it looks like whatever supervillain group this is, they're human trafficking the people at the Mexican border.
yeah. Immigrants. They're
Yeah.
turning them into weird robot drones.
Yeah, which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a story. I didn't expect it to go that way. It was a pretty easy breezy Spider-Man story that we've seen before, especially with Rhino, But just the fact that they threw that in there, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's cool. I gotta see where it goes. I'm gonna see where it goes.
Yeah. I thought it was a really cool jumping off point. I think it's a real cool introduction to Miles. It brushes up on all who he is, all the characters in his life. Just a cool introduction to him. And I feel like anybody can pick up this book and just, know who Miles Morales is. And I thought it was like you said, it came out just in time for the movie,
Mhm.
and because that's what's been bugging me about Marvel movies and their comics. Like, the comics are nothing like their movies.
Right.
So
Like
any
Shuri
kid,
flies in the comics. You don't.
yeah.
Movie.
So any kid goes to see Iron Man, and I want to go get an Iron Man comic. and find out she's a teenage black girl.
Right. Like, am I reading
And
the right book?
Yeah, and Thor's a woman, and like, like this is nothing like the movies that I love that
Right.
make billions of dollars. But here you go see Into the Spider-Verse, you can go pick this comic up and like, hey, yeah,
And
this
damn
is
near
cool.
everything you've seen in the movie is in the comic.
Yeah, it's Miles Morales is still black.
Yep.
You know, he's still male.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, it's just a cool introduction to the character, and he gets to fight one of the main villains and all that shit, and it touches up on some current events. You know,
Yep.
so I'll go a step higher. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because I just thought it was fun. You know.
Okay. The only reason I'm getting a 3.5, I think it took a while for us to actually get to the fight scenes, the action.
Yeah,
You know,
and
'cause
that's Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man's always there's a soap. It's a soap opera. You know,
yeah,
teenage
'cause
soap opera.
Yeah, because he
shit,
was
you
with
know?
his girlfriend and his best friend, and all this
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, should we get in books?
I got some indies I gotta go
Before
through.
we go with it, I got one more thing because I've got to say this about the Spider-Man, and we're not going to talk about the movie anymore. But one thing, okay, was it me or was Aunt May playing Madam Web?
I don't know.
I know
I didn't even think of that.
that's some deep cut shit. It's like one scene where they really tried to show you, like, drive it down your throat that she was really Madam Web.
Well, I was wondering, I was like, what universe is this where Aunt May is like M from James Bond or whatever?
Yeah, and it's got to be Madam Web. That's what she's doing because she
Yeah.
know she made the suit for him.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Yeah, I made the web shooters myself. You can have them." So
Yeah,
I'm thinking like if we ever get a commentary or something like they're gonna say, "Yeah, Aunt May was playing she was Madam Web in this universe."
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
All right. So I got. Do you got any more books?
I'm done. I'm out.
Okay. I had read a ton of shit this week, but I better get through these. I had some indies I want to go through. Murder Falcon #3. I just adore this book. This book is basically it's way more metal than Dark Knight's metal, and that's coming from a metalhead.
Oh wow.
So it pretty much knows its audience. It's a comic about a metalhead named Jake who has been down and depressed because of the death of his girlfriend, and he's sort of given up on playing music. But then this portal opens up from another dimension, and these giant kaiju monster beasts start tearing up the city. And then this warrior named Murder Falcon, he's like basically a big muscular warrior with a falcon's head. He tells Jake like, hey, you've been chosen to help save the world, and metal is the key. So Jake plays his guitar, which gives Murder Falcon the power he needs to destroy these monsters and shit. So that's basically the premise of the story. We're on issue 3 here, and this book just goes more in depth into Jake's backstory, dealing with the grief of his girlfriend. We find out that he was actually kicked out of his band because of his depression and his lack of interest in music. And him and Murder Falcon end up tracking down his old band members to get the band back together and start rocking out, which will give Murder Falcon the power to destroy this monster that's busting up the city. And I gotta say, I really dug this book because I play drums, and the drummer takes center stage in this book in helping defeat the monster. The drums create this giant tidal wave and summons this big giant kraken monster that takes out the kaiju beast. So I thought that was really cool. Okay. So I'm really digging this book. It really highlights how music is a form of therapy, and like especially like aggressive forms of music like heavy metal is actually quite cathartic and helps metalheads deal with their angers and frustrations and shit. Something I can relate to, So I really dug on that, and it makes a ton of references that fans of metal will get. You know what I mean? So if you're into metal, you'll get a lot of the fucking the Easter eggs in this. And I got the variant cover, which is basically a homage to Bolt Thrower, this old school death metal band called Bolt Thrower. It's basically a homage to their War Master album cover. And
Okay.
even the Murder Falcon logo is in the bolt thrower font and shit. So it's a fun story, a fun comic, and with surprisingly a lot of heart. So I dig on it. 4 out of 5. What else do I got? William Gibson's Alien 3, number
Okay.
2. So this is issue 2. They are adapting the screenplay of sci-fi authors William Gibson's script that he wrote back in the late 80s. He wrote a draft for the Alien 3 movie, but they didn't choose it. They ended up making the Alien movie that we all saw in the theater about the prison planet. But this is they basically took William Gibson's script and adapted it into a comic book here. And this script is more in tune with James Cameron's Alien. It was more fast-paced and action-packed. And this story centers around the survivors of the second Alien movie being discovered by this galactic territory called the United Progressive Peoples, or the UPP, which is sort of a metaphor for the Soviet Union. And they've basically rescued Ripley and Hicks and Newt on the Sulaco, that military ship they were on, and they discover that Bishop, the android, has somehow been able to incubate an alien egg. So this issue picks up, there's the Yutani Weyland Corporation has found out that the UPP has salvaged the Sulaco, the Marine ship, and they're just trying to get it back. Meanwhile, the UPP are experimenting on Bishop and the alien DNA. So this second issue it's just a slow burn. It just deals with the Cold War era like intrigue and the bureaucracy. As the tensions between these two superpowers start rising, because the Sulaco was a military ship that entered UPP territory that violates peace treaties. But then again, they want to keep the ship because it's got the alien DNA and they want to experiment on bioweaponry and all that shit. But it's just a lot of political intrigue. It's just full of exposition, kind of slow. I give it a 3 out of 5 just because there wasn't a lot of action. It was just mainly a lot of talking. I think reading this in a trade, I might just wait for the trade now because this was just a slow burn. So yeah, 3 out of 5.
Okay.
And my last book is Bitterroot number 2.
Okay.
And this is awesome. This is so surprisingly cool. So this story follows a family of like monster hunters in the Prohibition era Harlem. And they've been slaying these like demon creatures called Jinnu for hundreds of years. And these demons sort of possess people and feed off negative energy. And this book continues fleshing out the characters. This is issue 2. We're getting to know the family and the dynamics and the relationships, and more exposition on how these monsters operate and the magic, alchemy, and the herbs that this family uses to destroy them. There's a really cool scene, which was teased in the last issue, where this monster hunter ambushes a KKK lynching and kills all the clan members. And it's revealed all the clan members were these demons. They were actually monsters in human disguise. And the monster hunter ends up teaming up with one of the rednecks that were at the rally. Because he hasn't shed any blood or killed anybody yet. So he hasn't been infected with evil yet. So he ends up, this like redneck dude and the black monster hunter guy end up teaming up. Because the redneck says he knows where there's more of these demon KKK guys are. So really cool story, really cool shit. It's like I said, I mentioned this before. It's like the horror genre told from a black perspective, which I think is really cool. So yeah, this is my book of the week, 5 out of 5, because this is just awesome. Bitterroot, yo, check it.
Ooh.
And that's all I got.
Okay, well, I think we've done our fair gauntlet on comics. I think we might have got Comic Cast this week. Maybe.
We got credit for next week, because next week's all going to be about Aquaman and shit.
Yeah, so we got all this shit knocked out the way, because we're going to do what we should have did with Spider-Man this week. So, yeah.
I ain't reading shit next week.
Me neither. Just nothing but Jason Momoa's sweaty, oily pics. For 2 hours. That being said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. We have other podcasts. We have our sister podcast, Geeks Abs. We also have Comic Cast, which probably gonna do way more books than we did, but hey, that's what they normally do. We also have the Geeks and Comics. They also have Hulu TV, Get Valiant, Instrument Destruction, which Gomer gave me a cease and desist about saying they're dead. You know, so they're still alive in our hearts, in our memories. So, and Talking Ball, which should be dead for now, unless they're gonna come back like a Jason movie next year. Who knows? Yeah, that's all I got. Like I said, next week we're gonna do a nothing but Aquaman, and hopefully be there, listen to it, and we're gonna knock it out and give our unfiltered thoughts of what we think about it. So until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel. Ooh, cut this bad boy off. And
Oh shit.